Hello, this is StyleCon coming at you today with another video from the tobacco company in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Still working on this Mayembe cigar from A.J. Fernandez. These are pretty tasty. If you can find one, I'd highly recommend giving one a try. Now, let's get into today's topic of discussion. And this discussion has me pissed. I'm highly upset. And what is today's topic of discussion? That will be Swiss watch companies playing what I call dirty pool. Now, there's a gentleman, I'm not going to mention his name because I didn't get permission to do that. He sent me an email. So I started looking into this, and he's 100% correct. A lot of Swiss brands are actually sending out their work to Chinese companies. Now, what bothers me is they're not giving you a discount on any of these watches, and it's like the Edda video I just did, how it used to be like Voldemort from the Harry Potter books. Nobody ever talked about it. These companies aren't talking about it. Now, there is one Swiss company that does admit that they're using Seiko parts, and that's TAG, which I'm surprised they're actually admitting it, but I'm appreciative that they do. Now, with any of this, those people out there that think it costs $200 or $300 to build a Rolex, I hate to say it, you're sadly mistaken. If you look up the labor rates for Swiss watchmakers, and when I did this video, I checked it out, on average, it's around $31,000 a year. And with that, you have equipment, updating equipment, things like that. So it doesn't cost $200 to build a watch like that. It's going to cost more. But what I don't like is, and this, I'm not saying Rolex is doing this, or anybody else per se, but because they're not giving up this information, I find it upsetting because the average Chinese worker makes 18 cents an hour. So this person in Switzerland is making 1,000 a year. This person's not even making $1,000 a year, and yet you're not going to pass the discounts on to us. I think as dirty pool. These companies should have to disclose where these parts are coming from. I mean, under Swiss rules, to be considered Swiss made, 50% of the parts have to be built in Switzerland. And the commission that governs watches, what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to up that number to 60 to 70%, because some Swiss companies, they're not hiring Swiss people to build these watches because you have the Chinese doing it for a lot less money. And from what I read, the parts are quality. Now, I'll leave a link in the description below to the article that you can check out for yourself. But, you know, this is starting to get a little absurd if you ask me. I'm paying for Swiss parts, Swiss workmanship, and a lot of these companies, like I said, they're not disclosing it, but there are people out there that admitted that they are using Chinese parts, Chinese manufacturers, and needless to say, they're not passing the discount to us, which is unfair. And I don't know. I'm not more likely going to do this, but one part of me is thinking about, you know, screw the Swiss. You know, at least the Germans admit that they use Swiss movements, you know, in their watches and things like that. I prefer you be honest with me. Here in the States, I don't know where you live at, what country you're in, but when you buy a car here, on the tag for the car, you have to disclose where the car was built, you know, and where the parts came from. I think the Swiss should have to do this, because then that would show the real ball players out there versus the pretenders out there. Because to me, this is one of those secrets that's, you know, I'm at a loss for words, because needless to say, this is something that shouldn't happen. And if it does happen, pass the cost savings on to us, the buyer of these watches. Once again, this is StyleCon. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below as usual. If you like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will check you out in the next video.